Hey guys, Derek Johnson here. Want to clear up something. A lot of you guys on Twitter and Facebook have been seeing me kind of pawn off my possessions, everything from furniture to TVs, things like that. And I've actually been getting a few calls lately, and it's kind of concerning me. So I want to do a quick little video about this and explain kind of what I'm doing. Uh, Getting a few calls, got one today, and very concerned, going, Derek, I see you just pawned off, your flat screen TV, and yesterday you sold this. Is everything okay with the company? How are you doing? And I just want to make sure that everybody knows the company is doing amazing right now. Tatango is expanding faster than ever, and I feel more confident in Tatango than ever before. And we're growing. We got a ton of new groups, really cool groups in the pipeline that are coming. Some big groups. But this is more of a personal thing on why I'm getting rid of all my stuff. About, I'd say a month ago, maybe a month and a half ago, kind of had this realization, and I was like, look, every 6 months, every 4 months, I'm moving somewhere else, I'm doing something different. Things are changing so quickly at the company and my personal life. I don't want to be tied down. I felt, I had too much stuff. So every time that I had to move somewhere, I had to call the movers, and it was a full day process, and setting up all the furniture and everything. It was kind of a pain in the ass, to be honest. So I, had this realization. I was reading the 4 Hour Work Week, and great book if anybody wants to read, how to condense your life, make it more efficient. And I don't think he mentions in the 4 Hour Work Week that to get rid of a lot of your stuff. He just kind of talks about how to make things more efficient. Well, I kind of wanted to take that to a different level, and I wanted to make my moving experience and living experience a little more efficient for me, for my lifestyle. And what I decided to do is I wanted to get down to 2 suitcases, and that means all my stuff, except for the computer and the little office stuff that I have, all my stuff, everything I own, can be fit into 2 suitcases. And you might be, wow, that's crazy. That's pretty hard. And if you start doing it, it is very hard to do, because most people have a lot of shit, to be honest with you. And getting rid of that stuff, it almost seems like when I get rid of the stuff, things keep coming in. So it's been really a challenge. So last month and a half, 2 months, I've been getting rid of my stuff. Okay, Derek, where do you sleep? What about your couch and things like that? What I've done is I went out and I've started renting furniture. And you can go to Quality Rentals. I think it's called Ace Rentals. There's all kinds of rental companies out there that will rent you pretty much brand new furniture, very nice furniture. It's pretty expensive, I'll say. It's not the best financial decision, but from a lifestyle decision for me, it makes sense. The guys come in, they move in the furniture, they set up my entire condo, and when I have to move, or when I want to move, or when I want to leave, I just call them up and I stop the credit card, and they take back the furniture. It's a month-to-month rental kind of thing. Obviously, if I was staying in some place for 3 years, I would definitely buy the furniture. It makes much more sense financially. But when I'm moving every 4 to 6 months, different places, if I ever want to go out of the country or come back into the country, take a new rental or a new condo, I don't want to have to take all my furniture, and I don't want the hassle of owning all this stuff. So what I've done is I started renting all my furniture, started selling the stuff I own and renting it, so that I can get rid of it and I can take opportunities as quickly as possible. There's so many opportunities out there that I feel like a lot of people won't take, because they're tied down by personal assets. They're tied down by things that tie them into one place. It's been amazing. I'm in a condo right now. I was actually living at a house that I own, and I talked to this one person. He was having some tough times, and he had this very nice condo, and he said, Derek, I'll rent it to you for like 2/3 of the cost of retail. And I was like, wow, that's great. And it was like a 4 or 5 month lease that he had left, and I subleased from him, and I got a great deal on this amazing condo. And that's really because I'm so flexible. So you can take all kinds of opportunities that maybe wouldn't be there if you weren't as flexible. So I just want to kind of do this blog post, kind of tell you where I'm thinking. Hopefully you'll see me with 2 little bags, go, that's Derek's entire life pretty much right there. That's the goal. It's getting closer and closer. I have a few things still left to sell, but I'm getting close. But if you want to try it, it is very hard to do. again, you get rid of a lot of stuff, but things just keep coming back, which is kind of crazy. But it's a good purging process. I like it. I feel like, I am very flexible. I'm not tied down by a lot of stuff. So anyway, that's it. Everything's going really well with the Tango. I'm doing really well. It's just I want to get rid of some of my stuff and kind of become a little more flexible. If you have any questions about this, let me know. Also, I'll kind of keep you updated how it goes. I'm out of this place in one more month, and seriously, I'm going to be able to pack all my possessions into the new Ford Fiesta, the Tango car that we're getting. And that's a small car. It's like a little mini car pretty much. So that's the goal. Anyway, talk to you guys later.